if any of the religious figures, would they be on an M1 tank selling weapons to the world, or would they be protesting our military-industrial complex? Where would they be? And we know how religion is often mobilized to try to rationalize a humanly constructed phenomenon. And this is where I want to take it to the next aspect. We can't speak about economics without thinking about the military-industrial complex in America. We are a death economy, and we need to change this. We are a death economy. We are spending more on militarism than what we used to spend during the Second World War in constant dollars, Vietnam War, the Cold War, and all across. Now we're spending over $770 billion. That's a death economy. And we need to begin to challenge ourselves. We are number one. We're the number one producers of weapons of mass destruction. We're number one sellers of weapons of mass destruction. We're the number one developers, manufacturers of nuclear weapons around the world. And then we tell the world that they need to stop violence. It's easy. Stop producing weapons, we could stop violence in there. Stop producing weapons, we could stop violence in there. The bombs that are thrown across the world blow up in our own inner city, as Martin Luther King has said. He understood it's a zero-sum game. If you're putting your money in bombs, you're taking away from healthcare. If you're putting your money in tanks, you're taking away from education. If you're putting your money in bombs, you're taking out from the social services. If you're putting your money in every institution that is structured on the military-industrial complex, then we will have to have a deprived society in this country, supposedly the richest country in the world, and therefore we begin to see that the only option for us to move up is to join the military-industrial complex. We have to begin to challenge these notions. We have a transnational movement taking place today. We have a transnational movement taking place. It began earlier period, and we need to understand that we need to reshape the economies in our own country. At the root of it, people want to have good lives. They want to have good jobs. They want to have a healthy relationship in their communities. And we don't, or we can't reach that level until we begin to challenge the basic pillars of our economy. And to challenge the basic pillars of our economy, we need to change the politics that we have. I no longer want to make a choice between a donkey and an elephant. Those two choices of a donkey and elephant are not the basis of how politics need to be shaped. We need to have a politics that actually favor communities, that begins to actually act local, change the local dynamics, and we need to increase our participation politically. We need to take one neighborhood at a time. We need to take one neighborhood at a time. Once we begin to master that process, then we need to actually make the changes that are needed. It's a difficult task. Nobody is saying it's not. It's a difficult task, but it is doable. And every generation or so, we have to actually go out in the streets in the millions in order to make the change in the world that the world we are desiring it to be. That's the challenge for our generation, and that is the challenge for us at this particular time. Now let me say what are some of the divisions that might be put in our place. First, as you see, I'm a Muslim, so there are going to be the Muslims, non-Muslim division that's going to be brought about. All right? There's going to be immediately. I love you. I love you. I'm saying that those are the division that is going to be played out. We have to make sure that we have to have a solid line between all of us. My success is your success. My neighborhood is your neighborhood. My family is your family. If your family is hungry, then my family has to feel it. That's the basis of community. Second, we have to begin to understand divisions upon political tools and strategization. We will have to come to the table with different tools and strategies. It doesn't mean that we are different or that we lead into a conflict. All of us have different talents. There are people that are going to come to it from the art and music. There are people who are the direct action people. There are people that are more equipped on talking on the phone until, the end of night. There are people that more akin to going inside and figuring out the dynamics inside. There are people who can go and harvest all kinds of resources. Every person is valuable. Every person is valuable with their skills and their talents and their strategy. And if we differ, we'll have to discuss our difference, right? Because what is needed is for us to look at ends and work ourselves back in terms of what is needed to be an effective movement that will have a lasting effect. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Some are going to try to play us one way or the other, and we need to be smart. We need to learn from the past, and I know in Oakland, it's a rich, rich, rich area in political history and heritage. This is the place where labor movement had considerable success and work. The women movement had considerable success of work. You have to think about the civil rights movement, the Black Panther Party, the Latino movement, the Native American movement. All is rich in here in Oakland. I know San Francisco gets a lot of the media, but if you really need some serious work, you need to look at Oakland and the history that is here. And therefore, we need to link with history and link with those strategies, because those strategies become very critical in how we conduct ourselves in the long run. So my advice to you and you're my sister too. You are my sister because we have Bani Adam. You are my sister. I'm coming to dinner this evening. So that's called the Bani Adam. We have a brotherhood and a sisterhood based on all of us coming from the same family. And we have brotherhood and sisterhood because we follow particular beliefs. Those do not have to be contradictory. So I share with you in that, and that's a positive note. So I urge the members of the community, both the Muslims and our members of other faiths, to coalesce. This is the challenge for those who are spiritually inclined to come out to support these movements, and not to make our sermons in the mosque, church, synagogues, or temple a reflection of the status quo, and thinking that by brushing our elbows with power, we become more important and closer to God. The more that you flee from those who want to rub elbow, the closer you get to the divine, which means you have to speak truth to power from every place where you're speaking the word of spirituality and the word of God. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم.